The ATF is struggling right now to find a quick answer to a problem that is kind of growing for them, and that is AR lowers. Is it a firearm? Is it not a firearm? Well, judges now are starting to say it doesn't meet the definition that the ATF has of a firearm. Want to know more? Stick by and watch this episode of Guns and Gadgets. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Let's try to get this channel to 200,000 by the time I come home from SHOT Show. That's 1 week. Let's see what we can do. Let's talk about the AR-15. So chances are you know what one is, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this channel. For decades, the federal government has treated the lower receiver as the firearm. It's the part with the serial number. It's the part that you have to have when you're 4473. In certain states, you have to register them. It's been like that for a very long time. However, some defense attorneys are having success right now challenging the definition of a firearm and saying, look, Your Honor, this chunk of aluminum does not meet that definition. Now, the feds are worried because some witty defense attorneys are, in their words, quote, undermining federal firearms regulations nationwide, end quote, with this ruling. In fact, one attorney, I'm going to get you the quote here, his name is Stephen Halbrook. He says, quote, now the cat is out of the bag, so I think you'll see more of this going on. Basically, the government has gotten away with this for a long time. What does he mean? Well, if you know what a lower is, you already know that the lower itself is not a firearm. Yes, it houses the trigger group. Yes, it houses the hammer. Yes, it could even hold the magazine. However, if you put the magazine in the lower receiver and you pull the trigger, it does not go off. It's not a firearm. It's like my wife says. You have the male and the female, the upper and the lower receiver, and to get the bang, you got to put them together. Now, what the feds are turning a loophole is allowing people to get out of prosecution, even some people who are charged with illegal possession of these lowers, because it doesn't meet the definition. I've been digging up, try to find how many people have gotten off prosecution of having a firearm when it was just an AR lower, and since 2016 there have been 5 that I could find, and they all challenged the government and succeeded based off of this defense. I mean, the ATF itself, this is their definition right from the government website. Firearm frame or receiver. That part of the firearm which provides housing for the hammer, bolt, or breech block, and firing mechanism, and which is usually threaded at its forward position to receive a barrel. You see, the problem with that is that some parts of that don't exist in the lower. And that's why some judges are actually reading into this definition and shattering cases across the country. Regarding this split firearm frame debacle, in 2018, prosecutors said the ruling against the government would, quote, seriously undermine the ATF's ability to trace and regulate firearms nationwide. And then last month, another case came out of Ohio, and that's kind of got the ATF scrambling at the moment. Now, this case in Ohio was Richard Rowald was the defendant, and the attorney's name was Thomas Kurt, and his quote was, any public citizen would be concerned about this loophole that we exploited. As a citizen, I hope the ATF corrects this. As Mr. Rowald's attorney, I'm grateful the judge followed the law in getting to the correct result. Now, in this case, Rowald was federally prohibited from possessing firearms because he had felony convictions. But the government in the case claimed that he used another man as a proxy to buy at least 50 lowers. In the case in 2018, also they charged him with having 18 lowers. Now, of course, the attorney declined to comment on why his client had the lowers being federally prohibited, but that had nothing to do with why he was charged. Now, the judge in this case was Judge James Carr, and the case basically rested on the ATF's claim that the components were legally firearms. And the judge said, quote, that's plainly erroneous when he read the law and said the agency has a duty to fix the problem. The judge also wrote in his order to dismiss regarding the ATF that misapplying the law for a long time provides no immunity from scrutiny. Now, I've seen a couple articles that said they've reached out to the ATF spokeswoman for comment, and of course they're not saying anything, but word has trickled out that they are, quote, keenly assessing the Carr decision. In 2016, the then Attorney General Loretta Lynch even penned a letter to then House Speaker Paul Ryan about this exact issue, saying that this ruling is dangerous. And Dan O'Kelly, who's a former senior ATF agent, and he's the director of International Firearms Specialist Academy, his quote was, "I can't imagine why no one has taken the initiative to correct this." As many of you already know, the AR-15 is probably the most popular rifle in America, and they being the government, are really worried about what they term the ghost guns and the 80% lower game and how people are building their own stuff. It's almost like they just found out about this, because this has been legal since the beginning of the country and it's never been an issue. However, look for the ATF to come out with some type of redefining moment in which they determine maybe what's going to be the new definition of an AR firearm. So pass this along. A lot of people don't know this. However, a lot of people should know this. This is something the ATF is really worried about right now. If anything comes out more about this, you know I'll have it right here. So please smash that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and that bell icon so that you'll be in the know whenever this comes to fruition. Till we see each other again, this is Jared from Guns and Gadgets. Be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, and I hope to see many of you in Las Vegas this week. Take care, everybody.